The following is a production of the University of Minnesota.
You've made it! This is likely one of your first days strutting around a college campus, walking on the mall, hanging at the Union, gaining pride as you become part of the University of Minnesota. Chances are you're unsure of what the next 4 years will bring, whether it be pop quizzes, theater productions, sports championships, or dramatic life changes. In this land of uncertainty, though, you can always be sure of who you are and who you want to be. This is where StrengthsFinder comes in. StrengthsFinder is a tool to help each of you realize your talents, or what you're naturally good at. Now, it's not a magical talent box, and won't tell you things like, you will be the next Shaq, or you'll be on a sitcom almost as good as Full House, but it will uncover talents you might not have realized were actual strengths. Strengths aren't just words to describe yourself. Strengths are meant to be acted on. You can use your strengths the first 6 weeks you're on campus to help you make friends, find opportunities to get engaged on and off campus, and excel in academics. That's what one freshman, Buster, did. Let's take a look. Buster's top 5 strengths are strategic, includer, positivity, achiever, and ideation. Now, he could disregard these talents altogether and just keep being Buster, the jolly guy whose glass is always half full and comes up with zany costume ideas for Halloween. Or he could invest a bit of time learning what these talents mean to him and start using them in more and more situations, becoming a better Buster and making his strengths finally stick. Let's see what happened. Icebreakers have been played, strengths have been identified, and textbooks have been purchased. Welcome Week is underway. Since taking the StrengthsFinder assessment, Buster has noticed a lot of buzz about people talking about and using their strengths. For instance, he's noticed his Welcome Week leader, Ronnie, is really leaning on communication and being a relator. Instead of ignoring his whole group to play games on his phone, he's been trying really hard to connect with them and give them solid advice about college life in general. Heeding the advice of Ronnie, Buster started thinking about how and when he could possibly use his own strengths. Applying his strengths to school seemed simple enough. Buster was an achiever! After taking one glance at his Bio 1001 syllabus, he knew a GPA could quickly be squashed. Wanting to start his college career on a good note, he asked some people around him if they wanted to start a study group. Blank stares. After all, he was a stranger. But luckily, both of them had Activator and Maximizer talents, and realized that 3 brains are better than 1. The first study group meeting was set up and roles were assigned. So classes were going well, but Buster was feeling a little lonely and decided he wanted to get to know more people on campus. One day while doing laundry, he started talking to a fellow floor mate by the name of Denise. Her harmony, input, and woo really stood out as she taught Buster all the tricks to laundry in the dorms and made jokes about her festive sock collection. They chatted all the way upstairs and didn't want to part ways until BAM! The includer in Buster came alive! Why not get everyone together on the floor to meet each other and talk like this? A Facebook notification soon popped up on all of Floor 4's smartphones and laptops. Mesa Pizza in the lounge in 30 minutes. After retrieving a couple of giant pizzas all the way from Dinkytown, floor mates started coming out of their rooms. There, everyone talked about their hometowns, home countries, their favorite sports, their cat pics, and everyone was sharing their own top 5 strengths too. John, being deliberative, was trying to decide what kind of pizza he wanted to eat. Ka, having competition, started talking about a floor-wide kickball team she wanted to start. And Malcolm, with adaptability and connectedness, was able to quickly move past his crazy day where nothing went as planned. To turn his day around, he decided to reach out to a friend he met at Welcome Week, who happened to know his cousin. Small world. They took their bikes to the lakes of the Minneapolis. The next day, Buster had an appointment with his advisor. He was surprised when right away his advisor asked him about his strengths. Buster shared that he didn't really understand his strategic strength. His advisor asked some questions which helped Buster remember an experience he recently had at Target. While meaning to only buy some Tide, he ended up buying chips, sodas, new socks, running shoes, a stool for guests, and some sweet Star Wars notebooks. He was loaded with bags and a stool, but he realized he was going to have a hard time getting home with all this stuff. His strategic emerged. Walking would take hours. He didn't have a bike. Hitchhiking was risky. He would take the bus. So he loaded the number 16 with his massive bounty and headed home. Buster's advisor loved the example he came up with and asked if there were ways in which he thought he could use his strength in an engagement opportunity on campus. They pulled up the engage.umn.edu search tool and typed in student government, since that was something Buster did in high school and enjoyed. MSA, Minnesota Student Association, popped up. Buster decided to show up to the first meeting of the year to check it out. He quickly discovered that not only could he use his strategic strengths in MSA, but he was also able to use his positivity to ease political tension in the group. And just like that, 6 weeks into his new college life, Buster, and apparently everyone around him, was already using his strengths in all kinds of situations. That's what the strengths approach is all about, finding what it is about you and only you that makes things work and helps you succeed in school, with friends, or while just eating dinner or doing laundry. Learning about your strengths and applying them so that they stick will help to make your next 4 years the best they can be.